What's up, my TV besties? Welcome or welcome back to another recap. I'm your girl Ash. If you're new here, welcome to Ash Recaps. So you're about to basically get my reaction to some of our favorite shows, reality shows, all that good little stuff. So stick around for a bit, catch a couple of videos, like this video, subscribe to the channel, bang the bell, of course. I'm about to fall out this chair. Bang the bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop these videos. As you can see in the title, we're going over episode 10 of MAFS. Love is up in the air. And I mean, I guess for some of these couples or whatnot, like we're actually seeing like a bit of like trouble in the water for like Nicole and Chris. Like everything is like flowing really nice between them, and Chris basically decides that he wants to go ahead and confront her and let her know that basically he had made some statements about her and her appearance in the very beginning, and he would rather let her know instead of it kind of like hitting her blindsidedly at a later time or whatever or whatnot, which is smart thinking, smart guy. I mean, way to get ahead of it. But it's like, gosh dang it, here we go again. It's almost like Clint and the Gina situation, like all over again about Wade looks, you know, how someone's appearance is. It just all starts to get real sticky, and she's clearly like not happy with the comment, like shocked that, you know, that would come from her husband, you know, stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, we can get over this. This is something that, you know, can be, this is just a little hurdle, you know, in y'all's way. Let's not let this, you know, little one moment and one comment, I just feel like this is not the first time that a guy has said something about, you know, somebody's appearance or their weight. And I don't know, I just feel like it's being more dramatized and it's more sensitized because we're talking about the female body. Like, this is literally something that, I don't know. I just feel like it's okay. I don't want to say it's being blown out of proportion, because who am I to tell, you know, somebody how they should react to their looks, I guess, so to speak, or what makes them attractive or whatever or whatnot. I don't know. I'm just saying it as, okay, yes, how you're saying it is obviously, that's a thing. But if you're just, you know, just kind of like making a comment, just like, hey, this is basically not my usual type. Okay, I don't really know. I think I'm just going to get off of it at this point. She's thick at the end of the day. And she's like, at the end of the day, when you're making references about me and you're telling people about me, just basically don't tell them that I'm a thick girl. I can say that I'm a thick girl, but it's not okay for you to say that I'm a thick girl. I'm it's getting old for me, y'all. I think I'm just pretty much just over it at this point. But I can't even lie. I do think that Nicole does want him to be the person to say, I love you first. Like her, okay, so boom, like she wanted to, you know, have the, I think it was like okay, we're in the part of the process where, you know, the professionals are stepping in, not physically but just basically giving them activities, giving them things to do to kind of like help, you know, to bring, I don't think this was necessarily more of like an intimate episode, but basically just to become more intimate with each other, getting to know each other, bringing down those walls, really just, you know, like digging deep with each other. And Nicole and Chris have been hitting the ground running with like getting deep or whatever or whatnot, but she wanted to dig into like this love thing and talk about love, and I was kind of confused. I was like, okay, what is that what you wanted to know, like where y'all are at as far as like on the love like radar? I do, something in me does feel like she is pushing it so hard because she does want him to say it first. I feel like, I don't know if it's something like a security within herself, if maybe, you know, she's always been the one to fall first in her first relationships, or she kind of feels more secure if he's in it before she is. I don't know. Part of me actually kind of feels like that she's kind of already there. She's kind of already fallen. And if anything, she may be more I think would just make her feel better if he was the one to say it first. I don't know. Something in me is just like she's getting there. She basically loves this man, and she doesn't want to seem crazy by going ahead and saying it like now or whatever or whatnot. And then, or God forbid, he's just not there yet. Which he's not there. I completely understand Chris because he's very self-aware and he's understanding the mistakes that he's made in his previous relationships and is really trying to move on a different stride, going forward, especially, in this marriage or whatnot. So I commend him for standing up and like, no, we're not there. I just feel like, it's going to take time, and basically him being in a place where I want to make sure that when I say it, it's the right time, that I really mean it, that I'm not just saying it, to say it. So Nicole needs to scale back a little bit. If she's feeling it, she's feeling it. Just say it. Just like she's saying to him, if we're feeling it, just say it. I don't want to understand I don't know. I feel like basically it's something within her for why it's such a push and a pressure, or makes basically maybe want him to say it before she says it. I think it's some type of security for herself, or either I think she is kind of like already getting there and just doesn't want to be the first one to say it. So moving on to the next couple. The name of the episode would kind of like make you think that Gina and Clint possibly, that love is like coming up, in the air, for them. In the beginning of the episode, it does kind of like make you wonder like how it's gonna go, how it's gonna flow. I think that was Clint's mom. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was Clint's mom that he was having a conversation with, and it sounds like whoever this is obviously a prominent person in his life, someone who is a business owner, and so I think that she helped to like give him insight. The crazy thing is these things about Gina, her being her own boss, like being able to hold her own, being financially, in a great, just he loves those things. He finds those things inspiring. He finds those things attractive about her. But it's just that, all right, yes, but does she understand or know how to juggle life as well? Like he is the perfect person or perfect example of, I'm not working to pay bills, I'm working to freaking live life. And that's that part of him that he's gonna have to bring out of Gina. But of course, Gina has to be willing. Gina has to be willing to bring that guard down. She has to be willing to, give certain pieces of the business, or just give certain tasks and things to other people, and trusting that they can handle that, so that she can go and live life and live life, with her husband, if she even wants to do that. So him actually hearing, again, which I think was his mom, say that, yeah, in the beginning, yeah, that is your focus, that is like your baby, like that is all, like kind of like basically, that you see, like basically she's not surprised that she's so one way focused or whatnot because of this new business. So it really sounded like that helped to give him, some insight. And then, he actually went to her salon and got to meet, some of her, people who work with her or work under her or whatever or whatnot. And honestly, it was like they both kind of like got to step into each other's like comfort zone, or what makes them feel good. Him going, to her salon. She went on Dang, one of his sailboats or whatnot. And I love that she loved it. Like, I don't know, but part of me was just like, she is not going to, I don't know, just watching them, it does seem a bit awkward. It does look a lot of friend mode-ish or whatever or whatnot. And I'm like, okay, how can we just nicely, because it's a fine line, so how can we get from the side of friend to the side of like intimate relationship, marriage? Because yeah, it's nothing between them. There's absolutely nothing. Like, I'm not, so like I'm seeing the chemistry, like they can hang out, they can like get along, but like sexual chemistry and just like an oomph about them, like there's just no flicker. I'm not seeing None of it. I'm just not seeing none of it. But I think they continue to just pick up the pieces of each, dig into the pieces of each other's lives. And I know, Clint's really, still talking about getting deeper with Gina, getting deeper with Gina, getting, deeper with Gina, because ultimately he feels like that's the way that they need to go, just, to move into the next phase of like their relationship. But I guess with her being so busy, it's kind of hard, I guess, to, basically do that. So they're trying to find that, that balance as well. But also, who else is trying to find balance? Shaquille and Jasmine, not Jasmine, Shaquille and Kirsten are also trying to, find balance in their relationship. So, Arris is like, I don't want to say he's newly into his career, but it's definitely still growing or whatnot. And so he, like, he's like a professor, like or some type of admissions dean or something or whatever. Like, he's a prominent person, like, in the school, apparently. And then he has mentees, and then like it sounds like he takes on, like a lot of hats. And whatever he's doing right now, and this extra program that he's doing, and he's having to stay late, and Kirsten is feeling like, I definitely think we can tell that she's now starting to be into him and get into him, because she wants to be around him, she wants to like be all up on him, and stuff like that. But again, it's that finding that balance of, work life and home life. And I it even with him actually deciding to decline on a job without like even really talking to her and understanding first, and it's kind of shady or whatnot. On the after party, a fan had made a comment that basically they don't think that Kirsten would have basically did the same thing for Shaquille. And I think it's a possibility that we might be being a little bit hard on Kirsten. I think Kirsten's persona and her, lack of being able to be vulnerable, like it's like we have this, we see what we want to see about her, and I want to feel like it's more, but because of like, she's not very vulnerable, we don't really get to see it. And I just knew, like, for one, I was like, oh my God, they're about to like take the next step into the relationship. Are they about to have sex? And then, okay, maybe not sex, but I'm like, okay, like finally he's gonna get her guard down. She's gonna talk about something, and literally baby girl goes from, there's so much, that I haven't told you, to, well, you pretty much know everything about me. Like, girl, thank you for telling me what I know, which is that there are things about you that I don't know. And it's just hard for me to understand that, because I am like an open book. And I think just for me is that obviously it's something that makes you, not a vulnerable, person, or whatnot. Like you could really see her struggling just like to give him something. And I'm like, there's a little something that's not so deep, that's not so, there's something, Kirsten. And something's going to have to give in order for both of them to get what they need. Like, boom, she's basically saying that she needs that emotional connection in order for them, to be able to move forward. And he's kind of like basically saying the same thing. He needs vulnerability from her, and basically the emotional connection for her, the vulnerability for him, is ultimately what could be the decision, the deal breaker between them saying yes or no on decision day. And so it's weird, because for me, vulnerability and an emotional connection in kind of ways like kind of mesh together or whatnot. So it's like, and I think it's like even really like hard because I know she's like she needs emotional connection, but to even to have emotional connection, it's like you need like a trust. Like I feel like what she does not want to do is actually what she needs to do to even get there for herself. Am I even making sense? Y'all like get what I'm saying? Like she wants something out of him, but at the same time, like she wants an emotional connection out of him. And I don't know if she's thinking that it's something that he needs to do because ultimately I feel like it's something she needs to do in order for them to have that connection. Y'all definitely let me know your thoughts on this whole Shaquille and Kirsten thing. Like, is there something else that Shaquille could be doing to help to get her to open up, or is this something that Kirsten is the one that technically has to work through, has to, real or has the work to do? Ultimately, though, I think I just hope he doesn't have like any regret though in not taking that job or having bothered to have a conversation with her. And I mean, it sounds like right, he had already had his mind made. He felt like the choice was to focus on his marriage or whatever or whatnot, but not even just to have a conversation, especially if, let's just say that this doesn't work out, y'all. And okay, we don't even need to. I don't know. Part of me just feels like they still should have had a conversation anyway. And I hope that right, it's not something that he lives to regret later. Because at the end of the day, um, I mean, and I get it. I guess because they're so new right now, because it's like it sounds like this might not be the first time that he's possibly going to get a job opportunity. So, hopefully by then things will be different and they'll be more open to having like those type. He'll be more open to having that conversation with her instead of kind of keeping her out of the loop on that and making that a decision that he makes on his own. Y'all, it just feels like so awkward because I was like, somebody's missing, somebody's missing, somebody's missing, and we're just down to 4 couples instead of 5. So getting down to our last couple, Arris and Jasmine. At this point, y'all, I just foresee like it's like even Gina and Clint are even making progress and they're not making like any. It's seeing them is so weird, so awkward. I'm just going on and speaking on that I don't see the growth that needs to happen happening. I really don't. So he has COVID. He has COVID at the beginning of the episode, and she's doing her best or whatever to try to be there for him with her work schedule and just like whatever. And I don't know. I just felt like it was like, I don't want to say it was a nitpick or that it was like he's like highly critical of her or something. Like it was like, oh well, like giving her a rating of like 7 for taking care of him. And I mean, I guess that very well could be even. Like, what exactly were you wanting from her taking care of you? Exactly, I guess. I guess maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's why I felt some type of way about this rating her on how she was taking care of you with you being sick. It's just, and then like she seems to take it well, but part of me is just like it's like a funny dig, like it's a jokingly dig, but it's like low key like a dig. So they're playing like Never Have I Ever, talking about basically like their sexual past, things like that. And don't get me wrong, like Jasmine is very vanilla, like very vanilla. She hasn't really, done much of anything, which can be very fun as far as like, Eris. That's something that he could help to like bring out of her. Except he's like coming at her like, dang, like you've been boring up to this point. Baze. Like, I don't, these conversations between them just seem weird or whatever or whatnot, but it's like you can kind of see the effort, I guess, like him stepping in with the dog, and I guess washing the dog as an appreciation for her stepping in and taking care of him when he got COVID. It's Y'all definitely got to talk to me down in the comments down below about like I need to hear. I need to make sure that I'm not the only one that's just like crazy, or is somebody out there maybe give me a little bit of insight that maybe I'm just not seeing. Because I'm completely lost. I'm not seeing it for Jasmine and Arris. And as much as I want to be like something's just gonna snap and the quickness and like they're just gonna be good and everything's like things gonna take a turn. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So I enjoyed recapping with y'all. Y'all make sure y'all comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Again, give this video a big old thumbs up. I love y'all. And as always, peace. I'll see y'all in the next one.